mentioned Steve Jobs. Do you have another real world example you could point to say, wow, that person really was effective at persuasion?
Yeah, I mean, one from my original research on Change Agent, who I always think of because she just was really an exceptional and thoughtful persuader. So she was a senior person in an advertising agency in Canada. I knew her pretty well, and her name was Monica Rufo. And Monica was in charge of the Canadian account for one of the largest fast food companies in the world. And in the United States, this fast food company had launched the value meal, which today we know well, where you get the fries, the milkshake, or the Coke
Yeah.
and the burger as a package for one price. Canada had not implemented that. And the US, which is where the headquarters was, went to Monica and said, we need you to persuade the Canadian franchisees to move to this value meal because we know that we can see some of our peers in Canada are launching it. And we have to at least be at the starting line with them because otherwise we will fall behind competitively. So Monica understood that that framing was the wrong frame for the Canadians. Because if you looked at the fast food franchisees in Canada, they were doing fine. They were whatever value meals were appearing across the country, they had not been impacted by. Their number one concern was profitability. And at the time, their stores, almost to a few exceptions, were incredibly profitable. So she went back to the drawing board and she said, look, she told the headquarters, this competitive framing is not going to work in Canada. The number one concern for our franchisees is profitability. So I'm going to use a different way to persuade them. And what she did is there was a meeting, an annual meeting where they all came together, I believe in Toronto. So she got a couple hundred franchisees in the room. And she begins by saying, we're going to talk about enhancing your profitability. And we're going to do it through something called the value meal that you're now becoming very aware of. And let me walk you through why value meals are much more profitable to you than the current single item sales. And she talked about how when you have a value meal, the soft drinks and French fries grow pretty significantly. Well, guess which items on the menu are your highest profitability item?
Yeah.
So
Sodas, absolutely. Yeah.
fries. You make far less money on that burger. She then talked about what had happened in the US, which is that all the people who had adopted these value meals saw increased profitability on their bottom line. She then talked about the fact that a Harvard Business Review article had shown that when customers perceive greater value in what they purchase from a company, sales go up. So she brought in this research. And then she closed the meeting with a letter that had been written by the founder. And it's kind of a beautiful letter. It was maybe 40 years old or 30 years old, in which he talks about the most important asset in the company was the franchisees, and that our whole mission as a company is to serve you. So at the end of this, 15-minute, 20-minute persuasive speech, they got to vote. 100% accepted the value meal.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
she did a really beautiful job of kind of reframing. She understood her constituents well. She knew what was the most important thing. She built a set of really simple but clear arguments with great evidence that moved them. And then she connected through that letter in which the founder really felt that the heart of the organization was the very people, who were in that room. It was interesting because it wasn't the customer, it was the franchisees, because the founder felt they determined the quality of experience for the customer.